Hey everyone, Zach here again. Here with another vlog on Voltron Legendary Defender. This time, episode 3 of season 1, The Return of the Gladiator. Quite a bit of things explored in this, quite a variety. Quite some drama with Shiro, the mech Robeast, actually, I'll remember the term. Basically, the Galra robot that was deployed at the end of the previous episode. Its pilot is Myzax, I believe it's the name. And it fought in the arena against Shiro when he was imprisoned by the Galra Empire. That brings up a bit of character drama with Shiro because it seems that he injured Pidge's brother when they were sort of in line to get conscripted into combat. And Pidge is trying to still look for his brother and father since they weren't aboard with the other prisoners. There's a bit of lightness brought to this episode, but it does provide more stakes. On the planet Eris, there, I guess, has either since risen a civilization, or at the time, Allura and Koran didn't know that there were intelligent creatures nearby. And these Erusians are sort of like 2-3 foot tall, kind of ram-headed beings. They're sentient. They have a little bit of a society. They have sort of a traditional village lifestyle. Sort of cutesy, but does provide a bit of world building. They've come to regard Allura as the lion goddess, as apparently sort of a protector, but also potentially wrathful. Like, if they think she's unpleased, they might have to sacrifice some of their own citizens. Thankfully, Allura points out she wants to protect, she wants to be kind. The team has been training a little bit more with Voltron. And of course, with the battle with Myzax, they purposefully, knowingly form Voltron in the midst of combat for the first time. And Myzax Robeast actually has I really like the creativity of its weapon, of its fighting. It basically, in its right arm, it sort of forms this energy orb that sort of seems more overall like concussive energy, sort of just for brute force. And it can basically fire it, but then it sort of psychically controls it, as I guess, sort of, in a way, kind of like a flail with an invisible chain or something like that. And Shiro, as his memories are coming back to him, he works to figure out how he and the team can defeat it, since the Robeast fights in a very similar style to the pilot itself. And with that, we get Blazing Sword for the first time, thanks to Keith. I knew it was coming at some point, especially once the wings formed the shield for Voltron for a while. But it was a very cool moment. I knew that the hands coming together and basically forming the sword from in between them was coming, but the imagery was very interesting. It's sort of, well, Keith basically inserts his Bayard, his hand weapon, into the control console, I guess, kind of like an ignition key to activate it, and he does it, and it's first shown as really sketchy, really dramatic lines. I really like that temporary change in style. Also, speaking of Voltron references, I forgot to mention this in the previous one. In episode 2, in a comedic moment when the team kind of wonders if they can form Voltron by essentially stacking the lions in a pyramid configuration. As Shiro gently places the black lion on top, he says, "And I'll form the head," for the first time. Maybe he'll say that further along in the show in a more serious context, but for now, at least it's there as a reference. Let's see what else. General Sendak of the Gaur Empire, though he was overall defeated in the first episode, he and some of his forces are still alive. I guess kind of expectedly, they'll be taking advantage of the Paladin's compassion for others. They're very likely gonna hold the Erusian village hostage or something, occupy it in some way. They'll be up to no good, basically. And also now I remember Cree Summers' character name, Witch Hagar. Yeah, I'm guessing as the mystic, as I guess sort of a blend between technology and magic, the quintessence mentioned throughout the series. I'm guessing she'll be deploying the Robeasts overall on Zarkon's behalf. And I guess one final little spoiler that I actually knew of beforehand since I read about it online. Pidge is not a boy. She's actually a girl named Katie. She remembers that from his time with her family. I kind of forget why she takes up this false identity, but I'm guessing the details will start coming in the upcoming episodes. For all I know, maybe I'm forgetting something else, but something else of note. But anyway, that's all I've got to say for now, at least. See you in episode 4.